And with that, we are live.
The music is a bit loud.
Okay.
We got some kind of sickness going around here.
Okay. First things first. I want to apologize to anyone who was watching last of God and Glory's stream or watching the last video on YouTube because the end of the stream cut out for whatever reason. So major apologies there. I'll do my best on recap to fill in any gaps, hopefully. So, last session, the party... one sec, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I think I'm good. So last time, the party had been traveling underground, exploring what the locals had referred to as the Deep Fae. Previously, they had stumbled upon a circus where some time shenanigans happened while the party was enjoying circus games. The party confronted a powerful hag who had been Arin's protector previously, and she was sort of trying to keep Arin from the party. Not really keep her from the party, but keep Arin from leaving with the party. So she sort of stole the party's time, and they eventually realized they had lost about 3 months of their time to the circus. And meanwhile, Arin, who they were there trying to save, had rapidly aged up and now seems to be somewhere between 18 and 20 years old. After dealing with the hag, she yielded, seeing that she was not going to be able to defeat the party in battle, and showed you to where Arin had been living, in a little house that she had built for her. Upon entering, the party had some tea and a rest, spending time. But when the party woke up, there was some emotions that people were feeling and things, excitement for the day, ready to move along, and the surrounding Fae felt that, and reality shifted around them, speeding up time to reacting to the feelings that were happening. And when the party sort of like realized and things went back to normal, Arin and Rafflacera, the hag, were gone, after having discussed previously with the party that they were going to head to Zelk, take the circus on the road. Although RN was going to start traveling to sort of figure things out for herself and figure out what kind of god she wanted to be. The party discussed potentially trying to make their way back to the frontier, but the easiest way to the surface seemed to be through what Rafflesera had referred to as the crystalline forest. So that is the direction the party headed in. Following the path to the west from Arin's house, they found themselves at a large metallic gate blocking off the entrance to the underground of a city that it obviously hadn't been used in ages. There was rust on just exquisite metal that, like, normally you don't see rust on. Not in any sort of normal lifespan. But the party doubled back, having missed the entrance to the south they were looking for, just from the way that the cave sort of formed, where there was a weird lip in the direction that they were heading. But they were able to find it on the way back and made their way down a tunnel that had these exquisite metal archways holding it up, with old auric runes all over them that Valin was able to translate a little bit. It talked about the surrounding area and protection and things like that. An interesting interaction happened with a radish that was in the wall. That there was a deal made with a fern that as long as the radish was taken care of, they'd give on-occur information. And so they learned a little bit about the surrounding area. The southwestern part of the large cave system that they entered was the entrance to an ancient city that one no longer would be able to get into as it had collapsed. They found out this was called Old Fomorian, where the Fomorians had come from. Some of that information they had gotten from Rafflesera. But the party sort of made their way along the wall. This natural stone cave wall that had glowing blue runes strewn about it, protecting it from the water that pressed down on the cave from above, and the giant blue crystals. The ceiling of the cave was this sort of see-through surface, and looking through it you could see the ocean above forming from all of the blue crystals giving off water. But after following the wall in the directions they knew that they needed to head, bypassing the possum village, just to make sure that they weren't accidentally slipping through time more, the party found a staircase that headed to the surface. They rushed up the staircase and exited to see the last Fomorian, a giant eclipsing the horizon. His arms, the party previously thought to be mountains, holding back flows of water, shaping the very earth around them. And as we pick up for the night, the party has sort of come out from the top of this staircase, and you all sort of like had that reaction that like somebody lost at sea for a long time has when they like get back to land, as you sort of suffer the effects of like not the bends but the time equivalent of that, as your time that you spent in the Fae comes and catches up with you. especially Valin, who is racked a little bit by pangs. But after a brief moment of acclimation back to the surface, you all see the city you're looking for on the horizon, in the forest, the above ground part of those ancient gates underground you previously saw. And I will transition to the above ground map for y'all and let you start role playing. So yeah, as you arrive at the surface, evening light scrapes the horizon, reflecting off this giant's eyes, made out of like a glass, like obsidian or something, but with like a burnt orange color. Dark, crystalline pupils reflect, looking briefly at you all as you come out from the staircase underneath his right arm. He looks at you all briefly, sort of oh, I'm spotting something when there hasn't been movement for a long time here. But only briefly before his eyes return to something on the horizon that none of you can see.
Whoa.
Did that just move?
I think it did.
Pretty sure.
I thought that was a big carving.
Can I do an inspection on myself to see if I'm high?
Sure.
All right, cool. Perception sounds great.
Insight check against yourself.
Okay. Let me see. Where is my insight? Nope. There it is. All right, normal roll.
Yeah,
19.
You're sober.
All right, I'm definitely not high, so it's not drugs.
Could it be the giant?
The giant's that big?
Well, I mean, it's in the name. Giant.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm giant to you, so I guess there could be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like a giant mouse would be like, I don't know, 6 foot.
Valid. Your point stands. But I mean, yeah, I get you. I mean, Titanic? Does that fit?
Maybe even bigger.
Bromdignagian.
Something.
I don't speak lizard tongue.
Subtle racism clocked.
Do you know it in Dwarven?
No, I don't speak Dwarven, unfortunately.
It's like galactic almost.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic, sorry.
I know.
What do we do about that thing looking at us and then not?
Ruin it?
He doesn't seem to be interested in doing us harm, so I guess leave him alone. Leave him alone. He'll leave us alone.
I mean, I'm sure it would take.
You want some tea? Because I could use some tea.
I don't think there's enough. I don't. Do you? How much tea do you have?
Well, not enough for all this water, so he probably will drink like a whole lake.
Yeah. You think maybe like he's not doing anything about us because we're really not a perceived threat to him, and it would probably take a lot more energy and cause a lot of wanton destruction for him to just, I don't know, move. It seems like if this guy got a case of the hiccups, this place would be pretty shook up.
Like, just look, just say hello to the giant guy in our night.
What was that?
Flynn would like to just to say hello to the giant in our night in hopes of pleasant response.
In Arik?
Yeah, an arc.
You attempt to say something to the giant, but he's like miles away from you. He can't catch anything that you're saying, and it doesn't seem like his attention shifts from whatever he's looking at on the horizon. You feel like if you do want to communicate with this being, you're probably going to have to get closer.
I will turn to Valin and go, if that
We're
thing
like
comes
mouse.
back, it might kill us all.
We're like mousoscopic.
Are his eyes reflective?
Very slightly. They have like the consistency of like obsidian. There's some sort of orange color, glass sort of material.
Yeah, and is he looking directly south?
He's kind of like looking up into the sky above. But yeah, to like what you would perceive as the south of Narth.
Mm-hmm.
So, where is the city we need to go to?
Trees.
I will say you can see the city, to the east. It's in the forest.
Hirish?
What's that?
I pinged Hirish.
I didn't catch the ping.
Oh, where the three...
Yeah.
Where the weird looking thing is at.
Yeah, that's the city. The city of Bwold.
I think we should boldly go where no adventurer's been before.
You won't have the Bwolds to say that again.
I'm an avioid. I already don't have wolves.
As you are all thinking about this giant creature, I'll say that anyone that wants to sort of think about the perspective of this thing, go ahead and give me either a history check or a history, nature, or history or nature.
Ooh, yay! It's not a crap roll.
I'm like doing slow motion, kind of like miming, like I'm.
So I'll say, on occur, you remember being on the other side of the what you thought was mountains. That is his left hand. When you started traveling with Valin and Androx, you actually saw those mountains on the horizon. So like just the scope of this thing is massive, and you remember the landscape actually having been changed by like where this guy's hand was. Like there's hills from the impact of whenever he put his hand down where it is, and you know, but it's Mika who makes a greater connection, having seen the map that has been being drawn by both Isgaroth and Valin over time. There's a bunch of water to either side of his arms. Like this area that you're currently standing on is only not flooded because his arms are here. Not only that, his left arm has shaped the entire eastern side of Narth and the way that the water flows. The impact of his arm has created sort of the terracing effect of the elevation as you head to the east, as the land sort of like buckled and shifted upwards on the tectonic plates or whatever the fuck this island world has, as his arm had impacted in the past, and everything has just grown around that. And if his arm wasn't there, a good part of Narth would probably be underwater.
Whoa,
Damn.
that is so cool.
Like literally, it's a dam.
Yeah,
Ah.
Wow.
like
I did one, guys.
When's your clutch hatching? Mr. Dad joke.
I gotta hand it to him. He single-handedly made our world.
You know, I think I might have encouraged this a little bit too much.
I mean, this guy being here is really handy.
Lynn like looks up to the giant and just bows respectfully to it.
Let me see if he notices you. His eyes don't shift from whatever he's looking at on the horizon. Or I guess rather over your horizon.
I'm gonna turn around and like pat the wall that is his arm behind me and being like, "You're awesome."
Yeah, it's really craggy and rocky, but it's also sort of soft, like a sandstone. And actually, as you like make contact with it, you do notice that it is warm.
Wow. I wonder if there's anything that's big to him. Or is the entire world so tiny?
Well,
Seen a lot go on throughout this land.
I mean, not with the way he's staring.
You know when if he was standing up looking down, the ground would look like a map.
I don't want to know what that would look like. What if he's not wearing pants?
I don't know. Things would be so big that we wouldn't even notice.
I will say there is like a false horizon effect considering where you are in conjunction with the edge of the world. But obviously, because this guy is hanging the way he is, like it's very obvious that what you're seeing as a horizon is the edge of the world.
Ignore that. I didn't mean to hit that.
It's like someone falling asleep on the table. I've done that a couple times.
I don't think we're going to learn too much more just standing here.
Should we make our way to whatever that is over there?
The city?
Yeah.
I think we should. They might be able to fix this damnable thing. And I point to Crow. Who I'm assuming gives me a dirty thought.
I do not need fixing!
And I say out loud, you definitely need to be neutered.
Wait. Who? As I turn my waist away from the bird.
The scythe.
The scythe has junk?
The scythe. Wait. Does everybody hear the voice? I can't remember.
Not at all.
Only Graveheart can hear its voice. Whoever...
Oh, so the thing can talk?
In my head.
I will also say that it does respond to Graveheart and say, need souls.
Well, maybe we'll find a lake and we can fish some up.
Fish what up?
It wants souls.
Do fish have
Okay.
souls?
We need to get that thing detached from you.
Does soul music help?
I don't know.
Chicken soup is good for the soul. Or so I hear.
Real quick, Rose, on my character sheet, it's not showing the other spells that my Orin's pan flute has anymore. It's just showing plant growth. I can it's in my spells. It doesn't have it, but when I click on Orin's flute, it has the list of spells. But I can't tell what they I can't get a description of them unless I would like to cast it. Yeah, because when I click on the weapon, or when I click on the flute itself, I have speak with plants, mass healing word, plant growth, locate animals or plants, and then speak with animals. But under my spells, under additional spells, and it says orange pan flute, all I have is plant growth. Okay, you're good. Okay.
I think so.
Wherever the city was.
All right. So, as you head eastward, anybody want to make a luck check for the party?
What are we rolling?
Roll a d100.
I will do that. Maybe I shouldn't have.
All right, everybody, give me a perception check.
That'd be a gun because they're staring down the barrel.
Onakur, as the party's heading east, sort of enjoying the travel, you're getting close to the edge of the forest when you spot something that catches the light, like, of the setting sun. Something metallic is moving in the woods ahead.
That seems like that's something, something's metallic moving in the woods. I'm not too sure what it was.
Could it have been light reflecting off of someone's weapon?
That is one of many possibilities. And I'm not willing to take chances on it not being a threat.
Could it be a Tin Man?
Do you have a pair of red slippers?
I've got a pair of silver ones.
That might just do. Alright. I don't know what to do. Yeah, valid. I'm technically a metal dragon. Looks at my hands in existential crises.
I don't notice anything. I'm following along, but I'm in my head thinking about being a giant.
Is it possible to like keep track of it, or has it like was it moved faster than I would be able to keep track of it?
You barely caught a glimpse of it. You could definitely tell that it was moving, and it was moving fast.
Away or like kind of like around?
Whatever it was, it doesn't seem like it was coming for you, but you saw it like kind of like move across the tree line, not like not like in the tree line, not like it was following the tree line, but it was in the woods and you happened to glimpse it beyond the trees.
Okay. I say if we just take this nice and slow, keep it a little quiet, and move towards the city. Just keep our heads on a swivel. Don't want anything sneaking up on us, especially if it's anything metallic, or a person holding a metallic weapon, or a metallic person. You never know.
I mean, aren't most weapons metallic? Some degree.
I pull out my pan flute.
That's an instrument, genius.
I can do a lot of damage with it.
That's because it's enchanted with spells.
Yeah, well, you're a bird.
And you're a lizard. Birds eat lizards.
And this can go on all day, alright? We can do this right around. Let's just get into the forest. Keep that weird bird neck on a swivel.
Waste precious daylight. Or what's left.
Graveheart turns their head nearly all the way around and looks behind them.
Yeah, I mean, you see the staircase you took up from the underground. There's not a whole lot going on. You sort of like scanning around now, considering you guys are getting closer to the tree line. As you can see around this guy's hand, there is just a huge like crack in the ground there that seems to head down into the underground tunnels you were all just in. I will say Valin will remember that there is a whole crevice system that sort of runs along to the south, out to the frontier, that probably extends from all of that.
Crevice system. Can you remind me what that means?
Yeah, it's a series of crevices, so like canyons, but they like go down into the they're not wide or anything. I mean, some of them kind of, I don't know. Like it just like they're essentially canyons that go down into that underground area that you were just down in. They're a lot deeper and more of like a V shape than having a bottomed out like riverbed sort of section like a canyon does. Basically something you wouldn't want to fall into more than anything. But since we actually have the map up, if you look, I'm talking about like all of this section down here to the south. So if you go down to the south of Handfall, there's like a gray section that sort of extends above that life tree there. And actually goes down into the frontier down here. So like all of that is a whole crevice system that like runs up towards the hand. And you've actually gone across 3 different land bridges that cross this crevasse. When you went down into the ancient city in the Doomspire, you crossed that crevice on that like slab bridge, when you were over here to the west, sort of like heading up towards Trollg. Uh, all of that was a land bridge over the crevice, and so like down here, where the road to adventure heads west from Riverport, all of that part of the frontier is also sort of a land bridge over that crevice system. So the trebia that you all watched fall into that like underground area on fire, that is probably down underground where you guys just were.
Oh, okay.
From the very beginning of the campaign.
The man-eating flamingos.
What is it with you? What is with the cursed birds?
But yeah, the party's about here right now.
The bird is the word.
Yeah, you guys seem to be all puns tonight, and it just ain't stopping. Do you all have kids on the way that I don't know about? What the hell? Anyway. If everybody would like to move forward trying to be sneaky, go ahead and give me... What is it in this version? Stealth?
Yep, straight up stealth.
Give me them stealths.
Stealth.
I should make a stealth considering I have a -1. Or
Yeah.
no, fuck it. Okay.
Alright.
Yikes.
So what I want you guys to do is describe to me how you guys are traveling as you approach the edge of this forest.
I got my bow on my back and I'm kind of like really short, like getting down low and like almost as if I'm a rogue, but I'm not. That's what I'm doing, like sneaking really like low to the ground.
With my role, I'm trying to use the trees as cover, but it just looks like I'm going from tree to tree. Some idiot.
Oh, like me playing any first-person shooter.
Yep. I'm definitely humming my own theme song without realizing.
Alright, so you're all...
I'm walking calmly and quietly, and thinking to Crow, maybe we should feed you the lizard.
So yeah, you're all sort of stealthing as you approach the edge of the forest. You know, on a curry, you're hopping tree to tree, and as you get to like the edge of the woods, you slip on some rocks, and the rocks make some noise, and everybody looks at you. But as you all can now see, sort of into the trees, this is a bit of a more like a Everglades sort of, or what is that the right word? There's like swamp and stuff. There's like it's boggy, I guess. It's like God, I'm finding myself at a lack of like
An Everglade works.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the southeastern part of the states, just out in the like woods. It's probably like snakes and gators and things. But it's definitely like a lot of trees and like patches of water all over the place.
Oh, we have some swamps in Oklahoma too.
Exactly, like, how? I'm sorry. The terrain feel to us.
The terrain.
Yeah, how does like the swamp feel? Does it feel like, I don't know, like how maybe like how dangerous the swamp looks?
Give me nature, survival, or investigation.
Are my claw-like feet or talon-like feet starting to like sink real easily in the soggy mud?
Goodness, we don't have any horses.
I will say that it's like there's plenty of places where you can like walk. There's like a path that sort of like heads towards your destination. But there's like some terrain, like what's the word? Like not dirt mounds, but like and not cliff, but like there's like ledges, you know. There's like parts of the terrain that are raised above the wet parts that I was describing. You know,
Plateaus.
that's a decent word for it, yeah. But like, it's just the sort of terrain that you're gonna have to move slower through. You're gonna have to look out for like, you know, animals, making sure you're not slipping into some, you know, gunk you're gonna have a hard time getting out of, or you know, might have something in it.
Don't want to see any of you three sinking into the swamp and never and like the never and we won't get you out. I don't want to see that.
But yeah, if you want to assess threats or whatever, like I said, go ahead and give me a nature, a survival, or an investigation.
Also, I was going to suggest, Mika, do you want to take a ride on Hypnos so you don't risk getting all gunked up in the swamp?
What were those rolls?
Sounds good to me.
My brain.
Nature, investigation, and
Survival?
yeah.
I forgot what nature was for a minute.
I'm gonna have Hypnos go to his full size and then let help Mika up onto his back.
Okay. And he sort of circles back and like goes over the tree line out of sight.
I will also give him direct instructions that he is to take any command from Mika as long as it's like, if she says go somewhere, like listen, like she's the pilot.
He goes, "Whew, understood. Let me know if there's anything I need to do, Miss Mika." As he takes flight with you. And you do also maintain your psychic connection to your familiars, so you will be able to continue to communicate with Hypnos yourself on Occur.
All right. Just have Hypnos turned into like an airplane radio system. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard on Akur Air.
And I'll say, as you get over the tree line, Mika, go ahead and give me another perception check at advantage.
Almost hit disadvantage.
As you like get over the tree line, you spot the thing that Anakura was talking about before, sort of moving around. It almost looks like an 8 or 9 foot tall person, but they're like made out of metal. And it almost looks like they have a mirror on their chest, but they're like moving.
Are you kidding me?
It looks like they're carrying something.
Would I be able to tell the I can't remember the person, the creature who's
Hypnos?
Yeah, Hypnos. Could I tell them to relay that message?
Yeah, and Hypnos passes along to Anakura what you saw.
With the description that Mika gives, is this reminiscent? Is this the golem that was chasing us in my second play? Is this the thing that was chasing us that ended up like we were following?
You would remember that you actually ended up meeting that person eventually.
Oh yeah, with the gnolls. Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Faye.
Faye, because he was the previous character, correct?
But there's definitely some crossover in like description there. You can't be sure like without seeing
Sounds
it
like
yourself.
a golem.
But yeah, it sounds like the sort of like metallic golem creature that you previously encountered, or reminiscent of the metal dragon that you fought.
It seems like I just got a message from Hypnos. It seems that Mika spotted the thing that I saw earlier, the metallic thing. It appears to be golem-like in nature, about 8 to 9 feet tall, metallic, similar structure to our Fey buddy that was at the Knoll village. Not the same, but same but different.
When did you meet a metal fairy?
What day is it?
None of you are quite sure what day it is, really. There's a lot of disorientation having just made it back above ground, and time being funny.
I think like a week. A week, maybe a year. I'm not sure. We need to get a hold of somebody that we know that's been on the surface, so they could tell us how long it's been. But I'd say it's been a few months since we ran into them, and they were not a fae that was their name.
Oh.
They were a really nice person. We thought they might have been evil at first, but you know, first impressions and all that. A big golem coming at you. You're not gonna stop and ask questions. Valin remembers. And it also seems to be of a similar build amalgamation to the dragon we fought. So I'm gonna relay a message back to Hypnos and have him ask if Mika would be okay with like trailing it a bit, not like following it full on, but like just seeing if it's going somewhere, because it does seem to have a purpose.
Yes.
So, Hypnos looks up to Mika all of a sudden while you're up in the air flying and goes, Miss Mika, Anakur would like to know if we can follow the thing that you're seeing. And if you want to keep a bead on the creature, go ahead and give me a survival check at advantage. You definitely chose the right person to be in the air for this.
You think that this was just a coincidence? Mika's a ranger. You think I'm not gonna put those eyes in the air? We're finally out of an underground scenario where my owl can finally fly. Like, take full flight.
So you get a bead on the creature and you start like tracking it as it's making its way through the woods. You point it out to Hypnos, and the owl sort of like veers down, and you start like tracking the creature as it runs through the woods. As you get in closer and start looking at what you're actually seeing, it does look like almost like a person in armor, but like there you can tell there's not like a person in there. So Anakur's summation that it's similar to a golem sounds apt. You you're close enough now to see what it's carrying, and it has this like earthenware pot with a very large fern hanging out of all corners of it, and this fern has these bright red flowers on top. And as you like get in close enough, you see that it is being chased by something. Tracking and following, you parse out that the thing chasing it is this like alligator looking creature that has almost like a small island on its back. It's covered in like moss and algae. It has like plants growing out of it and stuff. But it is very, very large, about the same size as the creature is chasing. And they're just like bumbling through the woods towards the city that you are all heading to.
Is Mika relaying this information?
Oh, yes. That's exactly yes.
All
I
right.
just now I figured.
Upon further inspection, from Mika, it appears that from what she's saying, it sounds like this might be uh, it might be a good golem. That golem might be bringing something to the town, and that there's a creature of some sort, a big alligator-headed thing with like a small biome on its back. Uh, it's about as big as the golem, but I feel like we might need to have a golem. How far away are they from us?
Well, since Mika kind of like flew on ahead a bit on Hypnos tracking this thing, I'd say that like you're about like 5 to 10 minutes of a jog away from it. There's a good chance that this thing's gonna make it to the city before you guys can catch up with it.
I can fly at 40 feet.
Yeah, it's still like this thing is moving at about that pace.
Would a dimension door be able to get me to it?
I might have to do some math on that. How remind me the distance on Dimension Door.
I will. It's
500 feet.
yeah. I know it's 500 something. Let me check the dimension door. Yeah, 500 feet.
All right, 1 sec while I calculator. Yeah, I think that would do it. So if you Dimension Doored, Mika, you, and one other person could probably make it within distance to help this thing.
Uh, I'm going to. Valin, you can fly, right? Um, Graveheart, are you willing to take a trip?
Sure.
Okay, Valin, I need you at will hold it as fast as you can. Get to us, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put a hand on Graveheart's shoulder and then pull out my pan flute and play just a quick little trill on it, and a music note will appear that then opens up into a door, and then I pull us through.
And I go willingly.
Okay, let me use it real quick so I actually use it.
All right, so Anakur and Graveheart step through the doorway and appear between the robot and the gator creature. As Hypnos swoops down with Mika to help in the attack. As you catch the creature off guard and surprise it, go ahead and let me know what you all want to do.
I will... Do I have time for a bonus action and an action?
Yeah, you each have a full round.
Okay, I'm going to rage.
Don't wait. Nope. Okay.
What?
You're fine. I was gonna try something. Well, I mean, I still can. You haven't attacked it yet. We've caught it off guard, but I want to try and animal friendship this thing. Be like, hey, I can stop it from attacking. Stop it. I just want to help that thing. I want to help it in some way. This is worth a try. So, I'll pull out the harp.
Go ahead, and if it is successful, we'll say that you catch Graveheart before they raid.
Okay, so I put it up in the chat. They have to make a wisdom saving throw.
What is the DC?
How would I tell what my DC is? Oh, 15.
I'm gonna say, okay. So, that'd be minus... It just barely... Okay, so, Graveheart, takes position, holding Crow, goes to rage. Annika goes, wait. Whips out, his pan flute, toots on it.
This is the harp.
Oh, it's on the harp?
Yeah, this is animal friendship through the heart song Moonbow harp.
Pulls out his harp, strums it real quick, and then, what food are you using?
It just says that I choose a beast within range, and if it can hear me and understand me, and it fails the save, it's convinced that I mean it no harm.
Yeah, material components, a morsel of food.
Okay, never mind, sorry.
Usually when you're using a magic item, it counts as a focus that takes the material component's place.
Oh, I just figured... Anyway. If you don't want to give it food, that's fine. I just figured for role-playing flavor.
I mean, I will. Yeah, I'm completely fine with it. I mean, it would help. I'm probably just one of my rations or something, like a meat ration.
Yeah, so, this thing is, barreling towards you. You strum your harp a little ditty real quick and then, hold out, a little bit of jerky and go, come on, stop! And it's, charging, and then, slides to a halt. And it, its tongue just, engulfs the, meat that you're holding out. As it, looks at you sort of judgingly.
I am then gonna do another fun little doot and speak with animals from the pantry so I can talk to this thing.
I go, I can do... Wrong character. I can do that one too.
Yeah, speak.
I'll go, I can cast
Doing
that
that
one ritually.
What's got you riled up, big guy? Or girl, I don't wanna... I'm sorry. My name's Anakur. You are?
Hungry.
Valid. Why were you chasing the big metal one? I don't think you could digest that.
Smell good. Can't eat.
No, it's metal. It would just back you up. You'd probably end up with like indigestion or something.
It makes that like odd hissing, purring noise that like gators make sometimes, but it's like you can see the gears turning. You have food.
I've got not much more than what I do, and I don't think what I have left would be enough to satiate something like you. But why don't you just head back in the other direction and go find yourself something better out in the water or something like that? That seems more fitting to your hunting ground than being running around on land like the big guy you are.
It hisses at you, and then like
I hiss back. I can do that too.
like you have this sort of like dinosaur ancestor stare down thing going on.
I have to
As
use the restroom real quick.
all right, as it like it sits and tries to decide whether it's gonna attempt to eat you now or turn around. Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
All right. Persuasion.
The creature reluctantly lurches and turns around, and starts heading away from you with a like crack of its whip-like tail against the ground behind it. Um, it leaves like moist, muddy footprints behind it as it heads back into the marshy forest.
Well, I can say that turned out a lot better than I hoped it could have.
As you finish the interaction up, Valin is able to sort of like catch up, or flying through the woods towards you all. Um, and the golem that you were all going to help sort of like, let's see, it just like kept running, and like didn't notice that anything had like intervened.
It's like the opening scene of I, Robot when Will Smith is chasing that robot who's bringing the lady's purse, and that robot's just running through everyone, ignoring everyone with its package. It's just like gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home.
Yeah, whatever it was doing, it was real focused on it.
Well, crises avoided. I say we just regroup with Valin and continue heading back towards the town where that automaton thing was, that golem was heading. Thing's fast, man. For something that big, it's got legs.
I would hope. It is walking. Well, running.
When she gets there, she just sits
Sorry, I'm back.
confidently on the ground, and she looks at her friend and is like, "Ah, it feels great. It feels great to spread our wings out here, I guess."
Took you long enough. Joking, joking.
Yeah, we were able to avoid a crisis. I was able to talk down the big island gator.
Flirted with it.
I don't think you know what flirting is.
Did you tell it see you later?
Ah, no, I told it after a while.
If a beak could form a smile, that is the look you would be getting from Graveheart right now.
But yeah, the robot kept running that. I'm gonna call it a different thing every time.
I'm pretty sure
tin
that
soldier.
I'm pretty sure that none of you have the concept of a robot. So
The tin soldier with the pot plant kept running. So I think we just continue going. It was going towards the village.
There are metallic dragons, metallic lizards. Could it be a metallic human?
Yeah, we fought metallic humans. Dragonoid metallic humans.
Ah.
That melted when we killed them.
Oh God.
I'm wearing their crown. Actually, I think I put that crown. I don't even know if I still have it.
yeah, you still have it. Last I remember, you were wearing it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I had taken it off and put it down for the tribute for the Fae, though, when we took the weed from the garden.
I don't remember that being part of the tribute, but I mean, if you want to have retroactively have left it there, that.
Oh no, I gave my sword. I gave the great sword that I don't use anymore.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, yes. I remember that was what I
But
gave.
like
I still
I
have
said,
the yes.
if you want to have retroactively have left that, I won't say no, and it can't hurt your cause.
Are you implying that the crown is going to hurt my cause?
No, I'm implying that a fae who loves weed, who had their weed taken, might seek out, I don't know, a balancing of the scales.
Is a sword not cool enough?
Ooh.
I was about to say I could have left a feather because that's what crows and ravens do, and then I realized that's not a good thing to leave with a fairy.
It might have balanced the scales, though. Considering that's like essentially leaving them hair or teeth or something.
Uh-huh.
Bones.
Anyway, having stopped the creature from attacking the metal man, you all can now see the city of Bwold through the trees. Large, beautiful, intricate, patterned, metallic walls shimmer silvery in the distance. Fractaline, like patterns of like different sized walls twist inwards on themselves, sort of like creating this tiered, not necessarily battlements, but like low walls. You know, it doesn't look like they're meant to keep like war out, but definitely meant to keep like the local wildlife from entering. And it seems like that outside of, you know, like birds and things has done pretty well, because you don't see any animals beyond, as you can sort of like see into the city. But as you're all sort of scoping things out, why don't you all give me perception checks? I wanted to say perspective checks. Perception checks, as you sort of like look at the new sights.
Probably just totally astonished. She's just like, I can't retain information.
Time to boldly go where no one's gone before.
Graveheart's crow brain goes, ooh, shiny, as you take everything in almost immediately. I will say, Anakur also notices the really big thing that you notice, and that is that you don't really see, like, people around. One sec, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh, okay. So, as you're all taking in the sights of this city on the horizon, the two of you notice that you don't really see people around. It looks like there's like a person here or there, maybe, but like it looks like there should be a lot more people for like how many living structures there seems to be, but there really isn't like a ton of people. It's weird. Uh, the thing that jumps out at Graveheart that nobody else notices is that there seems to be a entryway to the city in the like intricate pattern of like tiered walls, like a back hatching like path that like winds back and forth through the walls up into the city proper, and right next to this entryway there seems to be a person sort of like propped up against a wall. What you all see as you're looking around is this just extremely ornate, advanced city, unlike anything any of you have ever seen before. The walls are reflective in chrome. There's mirror-like objects all over the place. Plants hang off of buildings. Water flows in like beautiful man-made waterfalls into gardens that line city streets. Trees stretch over pathways that line various living structures built upwards so that they don't have to go outward. It's everything seems just like perfectly structured. It's almost artistic and like beautiful on the eyes.
Wow.
Never have I thought we would see something like this.
Especially something like this so far away from everything else.
Like, oh my goodness. When we don't even know when like this is not on any sort of map. These people probably haven't had contact outside of this area for by our and who knows how long.
Yeah, they might possibly even might be a bit of a completely closed off civilization, possibly not civilization, people possibly. Like, I mean, this was wasn't this where God your the There was I know the Fremen is the big guy, right? That was an out of character question. The mountain guy is the Fremen, right? Or what were they called?
Fomorian.
Fomorian. Okay. And then the other people, what were they called again?
The Aranites.
Okay, that's the Oranites. So, yeah, this is possibly the last remnants of the Oranites.
Oh, shit. You like, just like, okay. We're gonna need to be on our best behavior. We're gonna have to be very, very respectful. Oh God, you like just the thought of it is like it's both excitement and nervousness.
Anakur is going to put a hand on Vlin's shoulder and just be like, take a breath. I think first things first, we should just make some introductions. I'm sure there's got to be, I think we saw one or two people. So, let's try and find someone to talk to.
Aren't the Aranites just people?
I mean, aren't all people just people? What? I don't.
I mean, wasn't she just panicking about them being like some super holy people?
Well, I mean, vestiges of a people that were followers of Orin, weren't they?
Orin.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the nervousness just comes from finding your people. Looks at Valin, wondering if that's at all correct.
I guess so.
All right. I didn't call it wrong. That's all that matters. Is there anybody like? So we saw an archway, an entryway. Is there a person near the entryway?
There appears to be.
Would you like to take the first step, Valin?
Yeah, I would like that. Thank you.
Of course.
And like before she goes up to talk to the person, she like takes a deep breath and like like in her head she's telling herself she got this. And
Remember,
she like
all you
walks
gotta
up
do,
with confidence.
all you gotta do, is introduce yourself. Don't start asking questions.
Okay.
All right,
Leave that to the lizard brain.
you're on thin ice.
Hey, I'm just saying, you're the smart one.
Well, thank you. Ice, still thin.
Then Valen proceeds to walk up to the nearest person and she introduce her friends and herself to this person.
All right.
We're new here.
Okay. All right. So, as you all begin to approach the entryway, Valin at the front, ready to introduce you all. As you get close enough to scope the person at the door out, you notice that it is not a person. It is a person-looking sort of like thing coming out of the wall. Not really in like a booth, but like it looks like there should be a booth there. But as you all approach, you can sort of hear the sound of like an electrical spark coming from it as it like whirs to life.
Oh?
Did that just make lightning noises?
Huh. It's never as simple as just talking to a person, is it?
I don't suppose so.
What if it's another one of those metallic humans?
So, do you still approach it?
Yes.
If the wind won't, I will. Me and Mika will gladly take the point now.
Valin, are you still? Do you want to take the lead still, or?
Yes, yes. I would like to take the lead.
All right. So you begin to approach this thing, and as you do, it sort of whirs, like more to life, as if like your presence is giving it its function. But it like jolts up, and it's while it was previously in a sort of rested position, it like its head adjusts and it like looks at Valin, and you hear, "Hello, visitors. Welcome to Bwold." As it makes a sort of welcoming, waving gesture.
I think it's a little broken.
Hello there. We are people that came from the west. I am Berlin, and these are my friends Braveheart, Arnaker, and Mika.
Are you an automaton?
It sort of looks at each of you and says, "Visitors are required to report to customs. See officers at the building to the north upon entry." And then there's an interesting like crunching noise from within this thing's head, and its head explodes as it just sort of like flops it like flatly in front of you all.
Was there any shrapnel?
There was, but not in like a way that like you're all like about to dodge a grenade. Like metal sort of like flies all over the place as you all like duck down and like shield yourself from it, but nobody's hurt in the like explosion.
Right.
I think we broke it.
Whoa.
I want to let you guys know that I the website pooped on me.
All right, you're fine. We're mostly theater of the mind tonight, so just worry about role playing,
All right.
and then try and read.
I guess you could say that guy was a real head case. Can I inspect the exploded headed corpse?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Alright. I'm good at that.
You poke and prod around in this like metallic carcass. You like touch something that like electrifies and like you like pull away quickly at some point. But like looking around, it looks like something had made some sort of nest inside of this thing, and that's probably whatever like messed up the functions of it.
Hmm. Hypnos, you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, squirrels.
Not necessarily what I was meaning, but thank you. Hmm. Well, I guess it before it ceremoniously exploded, hopefully without a squirrel inside of its head, because that would be tragic, honestly. But said something about customs to the north, so y'all want to go find RoboCops?
See a problem with it.
All right.
Yeah, sure. Are they gonna blow up like that?
I mean, are any of us gonna blow up like that, Mika?
I hope not.
And that's all we can do. Hope. And that'd probably be a good place to go for directions to see somebody about a scythe.
All right. So you all begin heading into the city. Like I had previously described, the entrance sort of like just is a place in these walls surrounding the city where there isn't wall. The path has grass all over it, and it hatches back and forth up through the walls, giving the illusion to anyone not being observant from the outside that there is no real gap in the wall. This is probably what, confounds animals, keeping them from entering, but obviously it's not going to do anything for like a squirrel or a bird or anything. So you see plenty of like those around like you would in a normal city. There's like pigeons roosting, and some like red tail squirrels climbing up and down things, throwing acorns around and stuff. Uh, the As you get into the actual city, the last wall sort of has like an archway entrance instead of it just being like open like the rest of it has. And you come into this landscape of uh, like a path that is paved in a material that you don't recognize. It is opalescent. Like it looks like the path is made out of literal opal. Reds and greens and yellows just flash off of this white surface at you as light cuts across it. I'll say that you guys traveled across that field and through the woods and had the interaction with the alligator and the robot. I'd say at this point it's probably about 8 p.m. So the sun is hanging on the horizon. Like it is setting. It's getting starting to get dark. So like it's hard to make out the finer details of what's around you. But this is the most advanced civilization that any of you has ever seen. Zelk is ages behind whatever is going on here. And as you head to the north upon entry, you see the sign Valin reads off in Auric that says Customs. You all give a polite knock and enter the building, and you find that it is empty.
Like empty as in like I know you mean like no one there, but
There's
like
there's no one there. It is furnished, however, finely furnished. Some of the nicest furniture that you've seen. There's not a layer of dust on anything. Nothing seems out of place. There's fresh flowers in a vase on the front desk. A little bell sits there. In a like very well kept velvet red carpet lines the lobby.
Do those flowers fit the description of the plant that the robot was carrying?
It's not the same as the flowers that you saw on the plant, but it's definitely like local flowers that are grown somewhere nearby. They're like very fresh.
well, whoever is is living here, I guess, is making sure to keep the place well maintained.
That's very true. Can I search around for any sort of like maps of the map of the town or something like that?
Um, go ahead and what do I want to make you do for this? I will say give me an investigation check again. Go ahead and give me an advantage. You're in a customs office.
21.
You're searching around, and as you like begin and like searching this building properly, it's like weird that there's like nobody here. You find the office hours are like printed on the door that like at the entry, and there's at least like 2-3 hours before like they normally have been closed, so somebody should be here. Everything's like I had said before, like extremely well kept. There's not a speck of dust anywhere. You end up finding like a visitor's pamphlet. This folded piece of paper that talks about like where everything is in town, or in the city. Some of the stuff sort of flies over your head. You're not quite sure what some of it's talking about. You assume it's something to do with like arcane magic or something like beyond your comprehension as a bard, something that a wizard might know about or something, because it talks about like power generation. Maybe it's some warlock shit, who knows. There's like a school. There's and like this like full on like greater than the Zelkin college, like this, like it talks about like school for ages like 13 through 20, like into your college years, or like talking about graduates and shit like that, like the sciences and magics, and it's just like, okay, well, that's crazy. Another part talks about the church. There's a church structure or cathedral. Um, there's a little section that talks about like lawn gardens. Um, there's a section talking about the medical district, all sorts of like various professionals for ails and odds, talking about how they could heal more than anywhere else in the world. Uh, and this is all having to be translated to you, though, from like Valin, because it's all in Auric. Also, every now and then, there's like a word or two, maybe 5, that like Valin can't translate because it's like a very archaic version of this language.
If we were gonna be looking for something to help break a curse, would you say that a church would be a good place to go?
Would be the first place I would go.
My thinking exactly. Does it have a location of the church on there, Evelyn?
Let me look as she like scanned over it.
Yeah, so there's a little like diagram that's like cut up, and each section that I described has like a little like line that comes from like the description and points where it is on like the diagram. And there's a section that like talks about the customs office where you're at, and like so you can tell where you're at and where the thing is that you want to go to is in conjunction. And you can sort of like see through the diagram what some of the like pathways are through the city.
Well, I say we head to church.
Sunday best. Was that a good joke? I don't know.
I mean,
Trust me,
that's a
none of us in
Sunday.
this party know what good jokes are.
All right, so you all start making your way through the city. How are you all like traveling through like the city now? Are you still just like comfortably walking, or are you like on edge, sort of sneaking a bit, maybe, or?
Uh, I'd say
I feel
taking
like
it
I would
slow.
Yeah, I'm trying to take in the sights, kind of looking around, making sure nothing sneaks out, that kind of thing. And then trying to take in it all because it's all different and new.
All right, Valin, type into the chat /r space 1D100, please.
I still can't reach the website.
Huh? Okay, one sec. I'm gonna go and check.
Myself.
The website doesn't seem to be working for me either. Oh, here we go. Oops. Hello?
Maybe I fixed it. We'll give it just a sec.
It started working again, and then my Discord decided to hang on me.
Didn't work, Rose. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna restart.
Alright, hopefully her resetting her computer will fix that. But since she can't do it for me at the moment, who did my first one? Was that...
That was me.
Okay. Let's have Anakur do this one. Alright. So you all make your way through the city. We will wait for Bwold to return before I describe how it goes.
Alright, let's try this again. Ooh. Ooh, good sign, good sign.
And that's why you always turn it off and on again before you call IT people.
Sometimes that does fixes the problem.
Thankfully. Alright, so now that Bwold is back, you all make your way through the city. It is eerily quiet. Wind fucking scrapes against the sides of these smooth buildings. The perfectly polished, opalescent path taps underneath your feet. And there is not the sound of a single soul throughout any of what you see on the way to the church.
Just imagine this place being filled with people going about their lives. It's overwhelming.
That's an understatement. I I'm not a big fan of all this structure. Seems claustrophobic for being out in the middle of nowhere.
There's not enough nature to commune with. Basically none.
But yeah, you make it to the designated cathedral, a large church structure that stands beautifully crafted before you all. Marble pillars, stained glass, opalescent structures, and gold trimmings. A giant sigil denoting both the religions of Arin and Vindane. Vindane's mask forms the like sun in the center of Arin's sun and moon symbol.
We lost Marky.
Uh-oh. Okay, we'll give her a sec. If anybody needs to grab a drink or anything, you know?
Roger, roger.
For those of you not leaving at the moment, any thoughts so far?
Like this place feels weirdly disconnected from nature. Like for being where it is and being who it's supposed to represent and stuff like that, this just feels extremely unnatural.
Let me Google and see if I can find some art to sort of try and fit what I'm trying to describe.
Sorry, I don't know what that was about.
It's cool. We noticed you disconnected, so we just everybody's grabbing drinks and using restrooms and stuff.
Ah,
No.
yeah, my internet just went. Yeah,
Which is weird because it didn't do that for me.
I'm trying to find some art to try and fit what I'm trying to describe, you know?
You're good.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So, Daniel,
Huh?
when we're done here, could I maybe get your Pokemon card game friend code thing?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't one for one, but here is an image that I found that sort of looks like what I was thinking. So when I'm describing like mirror-like things all over the place, solar panels, there's like plants everywhere. There's like gardens. As you're like walking around, there's like food hanging off of plants readily available. By the way, fruit bushes, cherry trees, apple trees. Like you walk past a grapevine along a fence. So when you all say that it feels like it's disconnected from nature, nature is like rooted into the very structure of this place. But also there is a level of like nature has been crafted into something different here.
Is it so?
Unnatural
How
nature.
worn? So, like, how worn down are the buildings? With nature.
Things aren't worn down. The structures themselves are just beautifully maintained. The the plants that are like growing everywhere are like meant to be where they are. Uh, they the it's like someone built a forest into their city, uh, and like instead of like there being like lawns, there's gardens and food. Uh, the streets are like immaculate. It looks like there should be people everywhere. Uh, the state of like perfection that is maintained here is like next level. Nothing is worn down. The like ventilation fans spinning in buildings in the distance move smoothly and don't make like any noise. You can hear water flowing through canals crafted through the city. Uh, Water flowing down from blue crystals somewhere at the roofs of various towers as the opaline path winds between everything. And as I described before everyone departed, uh, the church that you all approach uh, bears the religious symbols of Vindane and Arin combined, where it is Arin's sun and moon symbol, but the sun part of it is Vindane's mask.
I reach up and tap the mask I'm wearing. That looks a little familiar.
This is amazing. Like,
Mm.
no one would have guessed that these two were worship together before.
I mean, he is kind of in love with her.
Oh,
Yeah, but how many people actually knew that?
Apparently, these people? Maybe they banged here once. I broke the party.
I mean, you got a groan out of on a cur. My eyes
is there
widened.
any sort of
I'm just like I'm like, I'm not the one who. I don't know if Vindane's gonna make your ass itch now. That's on you. I don't know if I'd be talking like that.
He's not a cleric. He's safe. But holy shit! Like I was just like, holy shit! My story is taking on levels of like the Iliad and the Odyssey. Holy shit! Anyway,
Ooh.
what were you gonna
Why
ask?
don't you ask him?
What were you gonna ask, Valentin?
Uh,
Into the void.
she just she looks at the statues and to find any symbols or writing that indicate or like just any sort of writing.
The church's entrance has a little plaque next to it, minting the establishing date and the name of the church, the Paramorian Church. If the date is to be believed, it's like what you recognize because it's like in the format of a date, but like the like year is like outside of the scope of the year system that the Zelkin calendar uses. Like this says it's like 2005 or something like that, and the Zelkin calendar is in the year 125. Can't hear what you're saying.
For this five. Oh, the thing. So the plaque says 2005 for its date, and what's the current date for the Zelk Kingdom? Or yeah,
125.
125.
At least as far as you're aware. Who knows with how time shenanigans have been with you.
As far as I can tell, this place is
Your mic cut out.
than we think. Based on this plaque, this church was founded in the year 2005, and currently, to my knowledge, the church's calendar is in 125, and so it's that doesn't. If it's that close in date, we would at least have known about something like this.
Oh,
But it has to be maybe longer, maybe 500, maybe even 1,000, maybe even a couple thousand years.
what if they count time differently? I mean, they're an old civilization, aren't they?
I would disagree on some level because it's just see how they could measure time differently if, since this place is still a part of the world that we inhabit, then they maybe have to go on like some sort of celestial or seasonal date.
Yeah, but it's not 125 where I come from.
Oh, what year is it for you?
I'd imagine if the tribes have their own separate, like, time calendar system, the tribes probably 500 ish. We'll say 512.
Like 512, or many, many moons ago. Depending on which storykeeper you ask.
Hmm.
That'd probably be what Anna Kerr would be familiar with too then. Although he had friends that were gnomes, and the gnomes would have used the Zelkin calendar.
Yeah, I'm probably able to pretty easily, like, at least between Zelk and the tribal calendars, like, I'm probably able to, like, work around the yearage then.
Maybe if we can find someone that can tell us how long everyone's been gone.
If we can find someone.
And I
This
tried.
place is
Is it,
vast.
what kind of door handle is it? Is it up and down, sideways, or is there a door handle? Do you just push it open?
It's a very ornate door handle. It's it's like a lift thing, but like the handle itself is like this smooth gold with like an opalescent handle.
I try wiggling it different directions until it moves. Then I try pushing. Is it open?
Yeah, you like the handle like lifts up, and then you can like push the door in, and the like door opens into this very large lobby. There's a desk, and you see another one of the like automaton, like you saw at the entrance, like hunched over the desk. There is a set of double doors on the wall opposite the door you've entered from, and you're coming through one of two double doors at the entryway yourself. There's also a small closet or small door in the like corner to your left, like close to you. And then there is a door leading to the right out of the room on the middle of the wall. The floor in here has this sort of like ornate fractal like checkerboard kind of pattern on it, with like reds and greens and blues.
Interesting. I wonder if we talk to this one if its head'll blow up too. There's another one of those metal people things. Should we let someone other than Valen talk to it just in case?
I'd be fine with letting Valen talk to it.
Okay, but its head might blow up again.
Maybe if another squirrel's made nest inside of this one.
I bet it would be a church mouse in this case. And then I, like, get this wide-eyed look and go, sorry, Mika.
Church mouse. Funny.
I could be really quiet.
Wait, so you want?
We
Uh-oh.
lost you.
We lost Valen again.
I heard Alpha talking and then nothing.
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Now,
Ye-
Okay, that's good. Alright, so from what I'm understanding, you guys would like me to try talking to 10 men again?
yes.
Alright. How close is the Tin Man?
basically inside the door at a desk.
So in the center of the room is like there's like a circle desk, and in the center of that is like this automaton, and it's hunched over the desk, like its head is like resting on the table in front of it.
Yeah, Willin walks up to the desk, gently knocks on the counter to signal that there's someone in front of it.
Before you even make it to the counter, it's almost like it senses your presence, and it like whirs to life, and like its little false eyes blink at you, and it goes, "Welcome to the Paramorian Church. How can I help you?"
Hey, we would like to speak to whomever I guess is manager.
I was literally about to make the joke. Are you going to ask to speak to his manager? And you did. Yeah, ask, can you speak to your manager? Valen's hair suddenly takes shape.
No.
I'd assume, because Valen is a churchgoer, Valen would know that there would be some sort of, like, head of the church, like a bishop or a deacon or something. So she asks to see the head of the church. The robot regards the robot regards the question, blinking again, and goes, "Accessing database. Error. Welcome to the Paramorian Church. How can I help you?"
Well, I think we broke this clap.
What happened here?
Did the poor thing like knocked his head?
Question not understood.
It's like it could not remember or something.
I've got an idea. Is everyone here dead?
Accessing local obituaries. Current deaths. None.
Old deaths.
Last reported death. 9,067 years.
It's been a while.
Whoa.
Last of birth?
Also, 9,067 years.
I think we found a ghost town.
Incorrect. Current residency. 1.
Well, where are they?
Parazelk law forbids me from notifying you of citizen location.
Can you tell them you have guests?
I could attempt to send a message to citizen at your request.
Yes, please.
Please present citizen ID.
You only
Oh,
have one
this-
citizen left. We're from out of town.
If you lack a citizen ID, please report to customs. One will be presented to you and you will be added to database for our records. Thank you. Have a night stay.
You want to become citizens?
There was no one in the. There was no one in the building.
Step out of this building and talk.
Someone might be able to figure out how to do it, and we can put our own in.
Hmm.
I facepalm since we're still standing in the temple.
Give it another shot. Technically, this
Maybe I don't know.
maybe I can use my membership of the church as a way to get past this guy. I don't know if it'll work, but I guess I want to try that route.
You can try whatever you want to try.
What couldn't go wrong?
I mean, if you guys rather have, I mean, not give it another go.
I mean, you can try.
I can respect that.
I mean, you can try.
Berlin, she holds out her Aaron's the holy symbol of Aaron's necklace out in front of the Tin Man. Say, I am a member of the church, and I would like to know the location.
Valin instinctively holds out.
Location of your citizen.
Valin instinctively holds out her holy symbol, in fully thinking, after all of the time that you've spent being who you are, that it's Arin's holy symbol. But you pull out Titans, and your new religion comes to the forefront of your mind. It makes sense that you would believe that you still had Arin's holy symbol. But as you hold out this new symbol, the automaton looks at it, looks at you, and says, "A holy symbol, unrecognized. Religious visitors must still report to customs."
I guess I wasn't expecting it. Well, I guess I should have thought that the necklace would have changed. I'm sorry, guys.
We had a whole role playing moment where you held out your holy symbol and it had changed.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But Valen has spent her entire life with the Arenic holy symbol, so it makes sense that she would believe on some level that she was still carrying it. That being said, the automaton has said that even a religious visitor also would need to visit customs. I will, since I don't know if anyone actually caught it, point out that the automaton referred to the city as Parazelk.
I caught that. I just wasn't really sure what that meant.
What is a parazelk? Maybe somewhere in customs we can find a robot. Or not a robot. We can find a Tin Man.
I guess that's our next checkpoint.
We were just in customs. Do you think that maybe a robot or a tin man showed up there the time that we were gone and came back?
Maybe. Or maybe. Let's finish talking outside.
All right.
And it's getting dark pretty quickly. And we might also want to find a place here that I guess we could stay for the night.
Pretty much any building, they're all empty. Except for one.
And however many other metal men are. We still haven't seen the one that, as far as we know, the one that was running around.
What if that's the last remaining citizen?
Hmm.
And I lead the way out the door.
I will say, thinking back, you thought you saw multiple people in the city from the distance. I believe at least on occur. Like it looked like you saw at least 2 or 3 people around. And knowing what you know now and trying to connect dots as a rather insightful individual, you piece together that what you saw probably wasn't actual people, but rather more of these robot people that you've been seeing.
Both me and Anakor are both completely out of our depth here. I guess we go find more robot people to talk to so that they can tell us to go to customs so that we can go back to customs. Let's do it.
What? Can any of us, like, make fake documents?
I highly doubt that these people or machines are using paper filing systems.
Some kind of magical filing system?
Maybe I can use the mask to convince it to give us paperwork. Well, whatever it does to say we're citizens.
Anakor is going to start walking towards where he thought he saw people.
I'll say that the people that you saw on approach to the city, because like you could see down into the city from like a distance, they just seemed to be like wandering around. So these robot things are probably wandering around, and if you like head anywhere, you might bump into one. That being said, did we have a specific place that anybody wanted to go?
Are we aware of any other places besides the church and the place that we've been told to go back to 3 times?
Customs, the church, there's a health district, residential, all over the place. There's gardens, and there's a college.
Graveheart is going to fly up and look around to see if I can either spot anyone or a building that looks like someone lives in it.
They all look well taken care of. They all look like they're being lived in. This place is literally a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, and
I hate it here.
I will
Looks
say,
different than the rest.
I will say that as like night has begun to fall, lights in every building click on. There is light, like from not natural sources, everywhere.
Amakor's gonna start breaking shit here in a second. I swear to God.
I'm sorry.
I'm college, walking in that direction. That's where I'm going. I'm not gonna go to the residential area because that's gonna be nothing. That's gonna be robots. I'm going to the college because at least there might be knowledge there. Anakor is so fucking done with this place.
I'm sorry. I asked everybody about fears, and this place is based off of somebody's fear, so sorry.
That's a really cool place.
While following Anakur, I will still take to flight and crane around looking to see if I see anything out of place.
Alright. Graveheart, give me an investigation. And Valin, give me the luck roll that I wanted from you earlier that you couldn't give. So 1d100.
I fly into a building.
You're just like, all of that unnatural light is just throwing you for a loop. It's hard to really spot anything.
It's a pane of glass. He runs into a pane of glass like the crows from the Windex commercial.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where the buildings begin and end with these fucking windows. They like unnaturally fucking clear. So yeah, you all begin following the map that you found to the building designated as the school zone. You approach a structure that is sort of like fractaline in nature. There's a little like playground like nearby to one side, and then like a, a distance away you can see a little like relaxation garden. There's like a koi pond and a little bench and some hedges and a tree and everything. Just some place for like students to go that are like older to like rest and be outside and like study, and then another place for young students to go and like get energy out and stuff and be outside. And then the entrance itself is this large double doors between marble pillars that have a rounded archway. The building itself stretches up like everything else you've seen. It seems to be tiered, and at the very top, this is one of the few buildings that's a little bit different. It has like it almost looks like a wizard's keep at the top.
Is there signage in the building that Valin would be able to read that point in any sort of direction that would be like library, possibly room of curse breaking? Throwing some spitballs here. Something. Is there signage?
Not on the outside.
Yeah, for that.
The only thing on the outside that you can really spot signage wise is there's another one of those plaques like the previous building had that denotes the name of the building and the like the date that it was built, which the church is older by a little bit than this building, not a lot. Like they're like a year or two apart in building dates.
I'm walking inside.
Something now, bud.
All right.
That is a bold assessment that anything is gonna help us in this godforsaken hellhole. Nothing here has been helpful. You are an optimistic creature.
All right. You enter into the lobby. It's very similarly structured to the lobby to the church. However, this lobby has like many more doors leading off of it, and then there's like a sort of double staircase around the desk at the center of the room that has another one of those automatons behind it, but this one has been beheaded, and the head is sitting upside down on the desk with plants growing out of it.
I pick up the head and go, "Hey there, can you help?" And then mimically talk back to it. You gotta go to the. You gotta. And I put the head back down on the table.
Fun. So you were looking around for some sort of direction as you enter, and the nice thing is that like there's very clear labels for like each section of this building. And you see them labeled like, or Valin's able to read off labels like chemistry and uh, geomagnetics, chronomancy, metallurgy, alchemistry. Like there's like all sorts of different what's the word I'm looking for? Like studies. Then there's like a section that's like general studies for the young. There's a library on the upper floors, and then the head head scholar's office is the top floor.
The head scholar's office sounds like a good place to go because that's probably be where some pretty decent, like, secret knowledge might be kept.
Oh, let's go up there and maybe let's like even keep our eyes out for anything else that looks interesting on the way.
I agree. Anything interesting in this place would be a change of pace.
I mean, in a way, most everything's interesting, even if not in a good way.
Fascinating, maybe. Interesting, not so much.
At least it's not all trying to kill us. Yeah.
They might as well. With the information that they're giving, they might as well.
Hey, you know, when we were playing Monster Hunter the other day, you asked me to put you in situations, and literally the one point where I gave you the option to have a fight, you derailed the fight. So don't give me shit here, okay? But as you all ascend towards the head scholar's office, the double staircase from the lobby heads up, and there is these like shifting staircases that head up, like the Cursed Wizard franchise. But in between the stairs, there's this like false sunlight coming from above, and there's like all sorts of plants growing in these like gravity orbs, twisting and turning in the like false light, and like you feel like you're outside in the daytime as you like walk up these stairs. Vines overgrown stretch from ledges here and there. What was once the biology section as you're heading up seems so overgrown with like plants heading out all over the fucking place, and like as you head up the staircase past it, this carnivorous plant just like snaps at you all as you head past. But as you twist and turn up these flights of stairs past all sorts of plant life, with like fruit hanging all over the place, like there's a lychee tree, and like there's like corn growing out of like an orb in one spot, you know. You make it to near the top floors. One sec.
We lost Daniel this time.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Good friend.
Guess it was my turn.
That we were just saying that. So yeah, you go up these staircases that go back and forth and through plant life and past things that are plants that snap at you, and you make it to the upper floors. Everybody give me perception checks.
What button do I need to press to open up my character sheet? I forgot.
Go to the person, the little head that says actors, open the party,
Thank you.
players,
The
and then you can...
perception.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, two of you likely saw something. Or hopefully. Marky, are you still there?
Okay. So,
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, my internet's being slow.
Valin and Mika, as the party is making your way up, you notice the difference from the rest of this city. This place is lived in. There's like smudges on the wall here or there, and at some point, Mika, you spot a plate and cup and like fork left somewhere that had been recently eaten off of. And then
I'm gonna point this out.
I will say as well, you rolled a 25. You actually hear someone moving in the floors far above you.
There's someone here, I think. Might be another one of those robot things, but I can hear them if you listen. They're above us somewhere. And I see like things like, food. Someone has been eating.
I tilt my head so that my ear hole is pointed more towards the noise. And I listen more intensely.
There's definitely some noise coming from above. It's really hard to like pick out since this environment is so unnatural to you all. But I mean, something with Mika's mouse ears or something, she was able to pick up on it. And you all know she's got good senses.
Maybe it's another one of those plants that wants to eat you. Only it can walk.
Can Valin try to listen to the sound of the footsteps more closely to tell if it's like metal on surface or like foot or like soft tissue on the floor?
Anybody who would like to try and ascertain whether it is a person or a robot, go ahead and give me investigation at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, this won't go badly at all.
Does my passive investigation count, or do I gotta roll for it? Disadvantage?
Gotta roll.
Alright. Let me try. Might as well.
Alright, so you're all very intently and quietly listening. You're all like holding your breath, trying to like catch anything that gives you any sort of information. Mika and Valin, you hear one sound that sticks out from the rest of them that keys you off that this is a person and not a robot, and that is like a sound that you've heard before of like the sole of a shoe on wood, and it's brief and momentary. Volin, you're listening in, and then there's another noise of like books being knocked over. But Volin is the only one to catch that.
Valen, she like puts a single digital finger on her lips and just does a shush moment, and
I heard
it's
footsteps.
like a little bit like a walking sign.
Like that. Like, unless I'm mistaken, that it was definitely a person.
Excuse me.
Did anybody else hear that?
No.
I think we might have gotten lucky.
Who is lucky?
Or not, I guess, depending.
Well, I think we keep going.
Alright, if you're all going to continue to move up the building, how do you want to do this? Do you want to, like, be sneaky now?
I definitely will.
Alright, are you all continuing to move up together, or is someone going on ahead?
The sneakiest, it goes ahead.
I mean, I can be pretty sneaky.
Okay. So is Valin waiting behind, or... If you want to move sneaky with your group, give me a stealth, Valin. Otherwise, let me know if you're waiting behind because you think you'll be too clunky.
Okay, just a regular stealth.
Just a regular stealth, unless you're wearing armor that gives you disadvantage.
Well,
Right on. Okay.
We're doomed.
You all begin to attempt to quietly make your way up the stairs. And as you all attempt to start being quiet, it is very clear how unquiet Valin is. Her every step on the stairs just thuds. She doesn't know how to shift her weight, and it is very obvious. As you all approach the floor for the head scholar's office, you can tell this is where the noise you were hearing before was coming from. And the top of the staircase has a sort of like landing, and there is a mahogany gilded door that seems to lead into the office that takes up the space of the like wizard keep looking room that you saw before. So it's almost like this central part of the building that you have worked your way up to is just like a square cut out of that room, and then that room is the like wizard's tower area that surrounds it. The center of this cutout square area that you're like walking up into has that false sunlight coming down from it, and there's this big hanging square thing like it just slightly smaller than the like ceiling, hanging from the ceiling, that it if you didn't look at it twice, you would have just gone like, ah, that is a very bright, almost daylight-like chandelier. But looking at it closely, it is like a flat panel giving off this light, which just strikes everyone as strange, and all you can figure is it's probably some sort of arcana-based thing that you don't understand. But as you all come up the stairs to the landing, this red running rug stretches across the wooden beams making up the landing, and you hear from beyond the door, "Hello? Who's there?"
My name is Graveheart. I am a follower of Vendane.
Hey, oh wait. Never mind.
Graveheart? What? I have so many questions. You're not. What? The door flies open, and this, like, 3 foot tall person, like this, it's a man, and like he looks like he's human, but he looks like the fucking oldest human to have ever lived. Like he looks like a 3,000-year-old human would look. Like he looks like he is like barely holding on. His beard like hangs like and drags on the floor behind him. He like looks and he sees how many people are standing on the staircase holding up a staff with like a lantern on the end, and he like just stares at you all.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We were
Nice
sent
to
here
meet you.
because I have a problem.
Where did you? How did you? He like you see him like looking around, like he's trying to like conceptualize how to ask what like the questions he needs answered. I'm gonna say, uh, you're all fairly passively insightful, so like at least like 2 out of the 4 of you are able to pick up that this guy hasn't seen another like living person in a long time. Like the fact that you're not an automaton is blasting his mind.
A hag sent us here. I do remember that right, don't I?
Yeah, a hag.
Yeah.
It's a long story.
Are you sure it was a hag?
Yeah.
What did a hag need? D- Okay. Everybody, come into my office and take a seat. I have a feeling we need to have a very long conversation. And he like struggles his way like across the floor to this table. And it's like the height of a coffee. Anybody who's seen a kotetsu before, it's a table and there's like blanket all around the edge, and he like plops down on the like underneath it, and it's in this like section of the floor that is like lower than the rest of the floor, and there's all sorts of like cushions like surrounding it, up against the like back of the step down into this space. And then like on the center of the table there is this glass teapot full of like the darkest green tea you've ever seen. And like there he has like a teacup full and like a little scone, and then there's like a plate of scones, and like there's a pile of teacups like turned over, and they're just covered in dust. um but anybody who enters the room following him, uh it definitely looks like the space of a wizard. There is a large, like bigger than like bigger than the biggest bed you've ever seen. Like the like this bed could probably fit 4 people, like if they were stretched out. There's like the entire interior wall is a bookshelf, just covered top to bottom with books and scrolls. There's like a study section somewhere. There's a there's various chalkboards all over the place, and they're all on wheels, and they all have crazy inane bullshit scrawled all over them. There's like a summoning circle in like one part of the room. Like it's insane. And then the entire exterior of the room is like a window that you can like look out at the rest of the city from.
Very interesting.
The old guy nods and like motions for you all to come in and like take a seat.
Come in and take a seat.
Yeah, he's gonna start flipping over teacups, and like he takes like a part of his beard that's not the end of his beard but is like a tip, and like he like starts wiping out the teacups with it, like this part of his beard, and then like pouring cups of tea for everybody.
You?
Mm,
Interesting.
I'll pick out the hairs and start sipping.
Yeah, there's definitely a few, and they're like very old, coarse, uh almost needle like.
Ew.
Donicor stopped trusting things he gets from old people he just met.
But as you all sort of like come into the room, and like people, like, I guess, make themselves comfortable in whatever ways you're making yourselves comfortable. He goes, how did you all make it past Seath?
Huh?
Was that the big crocodile?
He shakes his head. No, he, like, the part of the room, the part of the room with the, like, kosetsu in it is, like, facing the Fomorian head, and he points out the window at the guy on the horizon. Seath, the large gentleman.
Under.
Did you... Had...
We took a
came from
underground
underground.
passage. We saw this really big ornate door, which I'm assuming might have just led straight into the city, but there was an off path that was carved into the wall that we took up, and it took us up to the surface, and from there we just followed the direction that we were told to go to find this place, because we were told this would be the place to come to possibly see about dealing with possibly cursed objects.
Possibly. The thing wants to eat soul.
Yeah, he's the only one who can hear talk, so we're not sure if he's schizophrenic or if he's actually cursed.
Interesting. So you say under. How... So you saw the underground doors. You went through the Fae?
Yeah, the underfay of that place.
I see.
That's where we met the hag.
Things are starting to make more sense.
Really?
Well, part of me wondered if there was anyone else out there still. It's been... He, like, dissociates for a moment and then, like, comes, like, shakes and then goes, I've lost track of time.
I think time lost track of you.
One of your robots said it's been over like 9,000 years, or one of your tin men said it's been over like
Same thing
9,000
for you.
years.
She
since you
hands
went
out him
along.
her map.
He's gonna, like, squint at your map and like, just, you can see him, like, analyzing it. There's that much left. Amazing.
There used to be more?
Oh.
Does this have to do with the giant outside?
Well, Seath offered to protect the city. So, perhaps? How do I explain this? So, there was a time where Arin and Vindane had a beautiful romance, and this city, along with many more, flourished in their love and their guiding hand. Arin had a divine foresight. She was organized, created beautiful patterns, and Vindane brought chaos to her order, and they balanced things in a wonderful way. And everything was great for a long time, until Gnome returned. You see, Arin didn't know that Vindane took his godhood by stealing it from her father. And this reignited a war that had been at rest for near millennia. The people of this city, they thought that the end was coming, and we made a deal with the last Fomorian to protect us. Since then, many of the other people that stayed have left to go see for themselves what is out in the world. But I haven't heard from any of them. So, as I said, I started to fear that everything else was gone.
Oh my.
Well, we may not have the advanced technology that you've had, but there are people out there that are still living their lives in happiness and joy and all the other good and nasty stuff mixed in.
It's good. That means that some sort of accord or balance was struck between the gods that remain. All I can hope is that the bad ones are still sealed away. Well, I say bad, but... You haven't heard anything of Salamander, have you?
Onakor, a lizard that cannot sweat, begins to sweat. Huh? What about him?
He stoked much of the conflict that caused us to seal ourselves away from the rest of the world. Last I heard, Arin was seeking a way to seal him away in some sort of...
Bubble?
Yeah, I suppose that's a way to say it. Divine...
Egg?
field?
Would it resemble a giant floating orb in the middle of the volcano?
It could.
Yeah. That happened. I can let you at least know that.
There's that, at least.
Yeah.
The moon. I saw
You
it.
can look up.
Well, I saw it. I saw it explode. Did any of it fall down?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I hold out my bow. This is a bit of it. Oh.
He points at it like that meme of Leo, like, hey, I know what that is. He goes, the hairs, I've seen that. That's a legendary instrument.
Yeah, this one too, and I pull out the pamphlet.
I don't recognize that one, but the other one I do recognize. It's not. It was forged on the moon.
Yeah, by rabbits.
Yes, Sylvan's people.
Yeah. It's pretty nifty, I gotta admit. But yeah, a chunk of the moon came down, and a chunk of something else. Chunk of something not too great.
Kyphon?
Man, for a dude who's been locked away in a city by himself for a while, you're a well of knowledge. I enjoy your company already. Yeah.
All I have is knowledge, I'm afraid.
And a beard.
That I certainly do. But
And then I spit out a couple beard hairs.
yeah, there's a lot of it. It was sticking. It stuck to some like old congealed honey that was at the bottom of like really old unused tea glasses. Like this is probably the worst tea you've ever had. It's tea, but it's almost like algae tea.
Oh man, my lizard brain. You said algae water, and I so many lizards just drink horrible tank water. Am I attracted to this pond water?
I don't know. It's your character. Anyway,
I'm rolling a tech. That sounds familiar.
We sealed away Undyne on the moon. There was an object from space that fell to the island of Narth. It corrupted things. And one of the things that it happened to corrupt was Undyne, the goddess of the seas. She became a terrible purple serpent. We chained her with divine energy to the moon.
I'm gonna look at Valen, and I'm gonna have a wordless conversation and be like, "Did you fuckers release a serpent god into the desert?"
She, like,
Was that
does this weird facial expression, and she like kind of nervous and like rolls her eyes awkwardly.
I have a feeling that Undyne may or may not be either in the ocean or just out there.
And as you all contemplate that, that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Thank you for the session.
I was gonna start throwing rocks through windows.
So
Oh,
whoever
and-
Get somebody's
me
attention.
whoever gave me the fear, a place that just seems way too perfect that something isn't right. This was your fear.
That's a very good interpretation of that fear. That's cool.
I feel like I'm in the Emerald City from Return to Oz, where all the emeralds were stolen.
Anakor wanted to gnaw on concrete. He was getting so irritated by being told to go back to the same place. He just wanted to chew on a rock and just get his anger out. Just be like, "Stop! We've been there."
Developing pica? Ooh, fun.
So the way that I pictured this working out was that you guys would have gone back and like applied for temporary citizenship through something and like asked one of the robots to like send a message, and then you would have been told to head to the school, but you guys, as Mika said, got very lucky.
I'm gonna be honest. There was no way in my mind that I thought we were going to be able to give ourselves citizenship. This was technology that me and Graveheart 100% are out of our league. And I'm like, the other two people here, like Mika is like, her people seem to be slightly a bit more advanced than a desert village like mine was. And then Valin comes from at least a somewhat metropolitan city. I'm like, we have zero chance. Like, I literally, in my head, that wasn't an option. I would have never thought that we were going back there and that was an option. I thought we were going to go back there and just be met with, like, either a robot randomly showing up there or just, like, we break something. I was going to start breaking shit. That was my next turn of action, was breaking windows to get something's attention.
Yeah, that might have done something. Yeah, I'll say, like, Mika's people are like, if hobbits were mice and lived in burrows, so.
So in my head, that is exactly the level. Like my village, my people were extremely swayed by religion to the point of when a catastrophe happened, they immediately went to, let's get this fucking god body, let's get this icon of a god body taken over. So it's like they seem like not super primitive, but at least far more primitive. Like, at least far more primitive than like a metropolitan city. So it's like my character's completely out of his depth. That would be like giving my character is a Victorian era child and you hand me an iPad. I would die. I would have a seizure looking at it. What do you mean?
What is this darkness you have handed me? This witchcraft, this alchemy.
I'd be like, this is witchcraft. I don't know whatever this is wizardry.
So yeah, I will say, I think your best bet between now and next session is to think what kind of things you want to ask this information source that clearly knows things about the past that the rest of you have, like, no access to. And with that, good night to everyone in stream. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun shit. And we'll see you all next time. I'm glad stream didn't crash this time.
Yee.
Good night, stream.
Good night.